Our residents in Johannesburg have been complaining about a strong sulphur smell which has been lingering over parts of the city. While authorities investigate the source, questions remain about whether this is an isolated incident or another warning about Gauteng's long-standing pollution challenges. Joining us now is Renay Van Wyk, who's an environmental health lecturer at the University of Johannesburg. Renay, good to have you on the program this afternoon. Firstly, I guess the bigger question right now is what exactly is causing this sulphur-like smell that's been reported by Johannesburg residents? What's causing it?
Good afternoon. Well, the characteristic rotting smell is associated with hydrogen sulfide, and this gas is produced when organic matter decomposes in the absence of oxygen. So potential sources include wastewater treatment works, sewer networks, landfill sites, etc. Waste burning can also release sulfur-containing compounds and other pollutants. So what's important here is hydrogen sulfide is not only linked to industries, but it can also originate from municipal waste, sewage infrastructure, and landfill gas generation.
Yeah, but is this simply an unpleasant odor that we're smelling, or could it indicate dangerous levels of pollution?
It could possibly, well, an odor doesn't automatically mean dangerous concentrations are present. However, in fact, hydrogen sulfide can be detected by human nose at very low levels. While most residents may experience only nuisance effects, prolonged exposure or alleviated concentrations could cause irritation of the nose, the ears, the eyes, the nose, and even for some vulnerable people, can cause this respiratory discomfort. So smelling a pollutant doesn't necessarily mean you being exposed to dangerous levels, but it does mean that the source should be investigated.
Yeah, I want to unpack that last thought you just gave us right now. How concerned should vulnerable groups be? I'm thinking about children, maybe the elderly, or people living with asthma.
Yeah, so as we know, vulnerable groups, these groups should be more cautious because they are generally more sensitive to air pollution, especially when it comes to children whose their lungs are still developing. Older people may have existing health conditions which can be exacerbated by pollution, air pollution in particular, and individuals with asthma or respiratory disease can experience worsening symptoms when exposed to air pollutants.
Yeah, but are there likely to be several contributing sources rather than just one that we're discussing right now?
They can be different. It's a very complex situation that we find ourselves in. So there can be more than one source.
Yeah, but current weather, I mean, how much of this then plays a part? Is it a contributing factor?
Absolutely. Environmental odor incidents are often complex. We need to consider multiple potential contributors such as landfill gas emissions, sewage infrastructure, like I mentioned before. So it's really a single source. Environmental odors often result from a combination of emissions and atmospheric conditions.
Well, I do appreciate, Renay, that you're not a doctor. But as we continue having this discussion,
almost.
well, almost, well, a medical doctor, that is. Let's speak more about how people should respond to particular symptoms. Let's speak about headaches, breathing difficulties, or even eye irritation. Is there any home remedy that one could possibly consider?
Well, like you said, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a public health practitioner, however. So I would suggest, people, if they find themselves in these situations, they should rather avoid outdoor activities and stay indoors as far as possible, and avoid the exposure as such.
Yeah.
And if they are on medication, they should make sure that they do take the medication.
It then begs the question as well as to how effective are Gauteng's air quality monitoring systems at actually pinpointing the source. What can you tell us about that?
Well, Gauteng's network has a network of air quality monitoring stations at the moment, and that provide valuable information on pollutant emission concentrations over time. However, identifying the exact source of an odor event can be challenging because odors can travel significant distances, and monitoring stations may not measure every compound responsible for the smell. So, what's important here is monitoring data should be combined with different other information like weather reports, dispersion modeling, source investigations,
Right,
and
right.
obviously reports from the community.
And speaking about the community themselves, I mean, what immediate steps should authorities then take to reassure residents that there's no crisis, really?
Yeah. So I think the important thing that authorities should do is they should communicate frequently and transparently with the public, sharing monitoring results as soon as it becomes available, investigate all the potential sources, and provide health guidance for the vulnerable groups. So public confidence improves when residents can see that authorities are actively monitoring, investigating, and responding.
Renay, let me thank you for your time and that insightful chat as well. That's Renay Van Wyk helping us understand or get some answers around this foul smell that can be smelt in parts of Johannesburg.